Hello, hello, hello. I hope you can see me. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can feel my vibe. I want to play around with this at the moment, but I won't because this is all about visibility and your next 99 days. And why am I even talking about this? Yesterday, so wherever you're watching from in the world, on the 23rd of September, or September the 23rd, um, it was 100 days to the end of the year. Now, for those of you in specific roles within organisations, you will know that it's really quite normal for you to get into a position or into a job or into a role or into a particular strategy and to be then asked what your plans are for the next 100 days. So you're one day short. So I thought I would share something that has been in conversation almost in my mind and on my lips, especially as I've been speaking to clients even in the last week or so. But first of all, why would you even bother to listen to me, and who am I anyway? As you can tell from somewhere around here, I'm Jenny Kovacs. I am actually nicknamed the Queen of Being Seen, and just this morning I was being interviewed for a podcast where I was asked some amazing questions, really great questions. I love being fired questions and put on the spot. And I was asked some amazing questions, and those questions made me really think about visibility, this topic, and why it's so important, and why now. Why, with 99 days to the end of the year, does this suddenly become important? What on earth has it got to do with achieving your strategic goals, hitting strategies and things like that? So I have got some technology that's running in the background. So over here off camera, which is why I keep looking this way, I've got my Mac and I'm trying, and I use that purposely, trying to check for whether this is streaming to my Facebook page and my LinkedIn profile. I don't know. So if you're watching this, whether you watch anything that I've ever shared or whether randomly you've come across this page, do type a comment in the box and let me know that you can see me, you can hear me, and you can feel the vibe that I'm delivering. Because why am I speaking about this? It's not enough to know that I'm nicknamed the Queen of Being Seen. That, by the way, is about your visibility, you raising your professional profile, not me, not mine. And I discovered this by accident. I discovered that even though I thought that everybody needed to be looked at individually, merit by merit, which, when it comes to raising your visibility, that might be the case. You might be a corporate executive, so you're an employed professional. You might be a professional that's employed in a specific industry. You might be, hey, you're on LinkedIn and you can see and hear me. Thank you so much, Lynn. You're a lifesaver. Shouting out Lynn there, Lynn Thomas. Thank you so much. So one of the things that you might be a business owner, either a small business owner or an SME, small medium enterprise, or even a bigger business owner, and in a leadership position where it's your responsibility to maybe attract clients, to get more business in, to make sure that what you're doing lines up with the strategy moving forward. So this is a really quick and easy way to put a plan together. Now, my background in financial services and before that travel and a few other things led me to create this system today, because what I realised is, regardless of your industry, regardless of whether you're an employed professional or a self-employed professional, there are 5 fundamental things that you need to do to make sure that your professional profile is elevated, and to ensure that you get the promotions. It could be, for some of you, a small percentage of you, it could be a publicity-led promotion, but it's to basically get the information that you need. So I thought, rather than just streaming live and just talking about being visible and visibility, which I'm an expert in, I thought it would be a really great idea for me to share some tangible tips that you can take away. So for those of you watching these for the next few minutes, if you've got pen and paper to hand, grab it, because I'm going to give you some stuff that you can go off and do that will make a difference. Also, this is a limited amount of time. This is my life's work that I poured into these 5 steps. So there's only so much that I can give you in this time, but I'm going to share some resources that will help you and let you know what you need to do next if you want to get more of that. Hopefully helpful, hopefully okay. Just waving to those of you. Voice loud and clear. Shall I stop shouting? Thank you so much for confirming that. So now I have, through using these steps, as have my clients who have been, exec employees. They have been clients with their own business, some of them one-man bands, some of them bigger parts of very well-known organisations. Either way, I have had what I refer to as pinch me moments. These are ones where I've even needed to decide I need to be more visible in order to help people, reach people, make a difference. I call this visibility that causes a ripple effect. And I have not only had to do some of these things myself, but I've also taught other people how to do it, coached them through it, mentored them through it. And in fact, I'm very proud to say I won Mentor of the Year with the ITT, which is the International Travel and Tourism Board right here in the UK. So grateful to them and the people that I hope I can help. But what I also recognise right now is that whilst for some people this is a time, this last quarter presents a time of opportunity, for some of you it's represented a huge time of disappointment. Here in the UK and globally, people are losing their jobs, people are being made redundant, and people are very, very uncertain of what's in the future and what's coming ahead. And for that, I want to be able to do something that helps. So the first thing that I'm going to let you know about is actually a free conference. It's not run by me. I'm one of the guest speakers on there, but it's hosted by a lovely lady called Anita Bellitz. So if you're connected to me, you'll see that she's on there. So if you go to your dream job conference, whether you are looking for your next opportunity or whether you're in a pretty good position where you are now, but want to really enhance and almost like run into the next 90 days, doing the very best that you can within your role for your organisation, for your industry, for your company, then check it out. She's got some amazing speakers. I know that Jane Franklin's going to be speaking, and Jane really represents the difference that women can also make within male-dominated environments. Think of things like my background in financial services. Jane is really great in the infotech part of the industry, and she's also written a book about this as well. So that's just one area. Now, regardless of which industry you're in or whatever your gender is, or if you identify with a specific gender, there are lots of people that are going to help you with things like, well, how do you get what your passion is or your purpose or what you're meant to do and put that into a professional role? Or how do you plan out your day? Maybe you like to plan it out in 90-day segments. Todd Herman, who is very well known internationally for the 90-day year, and also his book, the ego effect, alter ego effect. There are other speakers. I'm going to be talking about raising your professional profile and visibility, and some other interesting nuggets there. Anita is a well-renowned coach and is able to coach executives through these sorts of things. So whether you're looking for your next opportunity or enhancing your current opportunity, this is all free. So your dreamjobconference.com. Other than that, I'll make sure that I put a link underneath that, which will just show that it came via me, and get registered, and you'll be given all the different segments that will be airing out, and you can either watch them as they get released or go back to them within 24 hours. Phenomenal speakers covering phenomenal subjects. Things like how to use LinkedIn to be able to find your next opportunity, how to look for opportunities and jobs and roles where they're not even advertised. There's even segments on how to do video for that, all sorts of different things. So do dive in, and if you don't need it, there might be somebody you're connected to on this platform that needs that too. So that's one thing that you can do, and that literally will cost you in time, but it's a huge investment in yourself and your future career moving through these times. So one of the things that I discovered with being visible and showing thousands of other people to be visible too. And the reason why I do this work isn't because of all of the great things that have happened, you know, the speaking gigs, international or local, isn't because I've been so privileged to be able to speak to executives at Google, isn't even because I get dialed up a lot by the BBC and asked to be their expert. One of my most fun segments was with Nikki Campbell for half an hour as the kind of like the coach, the career coach that was on call there. All of those things are great. But in my own experience of quadrupling my own salary and raising my own professional profile, that was all well and good until I came up against redundancy as well. You'll all remember the 2007, 2008 financial crash. And for those of you that are in financial services, you would have seen and felt that coming from about 2007. Here's what happened next, and here's what I see happens a lot with lots of different people. I lost confidence, but I didn't know I lost confidence. I thought I was the same person that had a bit of a knock in terms of being made redundant. And for me, it wasn't that I was the only person made redundant. There were a lot of us, so there might have been safety in numbers. But one of the things that I did moving forward, when I realised that I chipped away at my own confidence, was in the next position that I took. The pay drop that I took a 60% drop in salary, 60%, all because I thought, well, maybe I have to prove myself first. Maybe I need to go and learn some more stuff first. Then that way, that will be a firm tick that I am good for this position or good for this role. Maybe I need to learn how to say it differently. Perhaps, people might look at my age and think, she's not really old enough to run this role. Sometimes people, I thought, might think, well, maybe she's too young to do this, too old to do this, to that. And this I hear literally every day. There is normally something within our professional time or our career that can knock us. And whilst everything appears juicy and rosy on the outside, it chips away. And the reason I put this visibility acceleration process together in 5 easy steps was exactly for that feeling. I never want anyone to have that kind of imposter syndrome feeling where on the outside everything looks great. On the inside, you feel frustration, disappointment, not good enough, you feel unworthy, you don't feel valuable anymore, and you settle for less. Because even though it might sound like you're just speaking about your professional profile, quite often this has the knock-on effect that makes us feel not good enough, but also it bleeds out into other areas of our life. We might become grumpier at home. You might be, at flux with the children. You might be ride people around you really hard. It could be your team. It could be your peers. It could be the boardroom. You might start to treat people differently, all because of this knocking confidence. So here's what I would like to share. I'd like you to look specifically at 3 things to kickstart this plan. And before you do any of it, really think hard about why you're doing this. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? And don't pass that point until you've got clear on that thing. It could be, there's a number of reasons. It could be strategy. It could be because things basically need to look better, because you might feel like you have no choice. So as a coach, if you're saying to yourself, well, I don't have any choice in this, a really great question to ask yourself is, if you did have a choice, what would you choose to do? I call it the magic wand question. If you could do anything, wave a magic wand at this and have a choice about what you do and have something happen, what would it be? Allow yourself to indulge in what that would be, because that actually normally gives you a surprising route out of, well, this is actually what I want to do. This is where I want to go. And yeah, I can see your comment. Confidence is the biggest barrier. in my clients have too. I've been there too, and it just gets in the way of progress and happiness. Absolutely, 100%. You know, as a coach that has helped thousands of people through this, and I know that you will probably resonate with this too. There's a perception that, well, once you've kicked it and cracked it, that you just keep going on and that's it, it's finished. When the truth of the matter is, you know, and I was saying this to a client just a couple of days ago, you will always have that in the background. The difference is what you do with it. It will either be the thing that crushes you or stops you or pauses you, or it will be the thing that propels you. But without knowing some ways or having some ways to kind of move forward with it and get out of a hole that you feel that you might be in, it makes it really difficult. So get clear on the vision, really get clear on the vision. Don't worry about how you're going to do it specifically, but just get really, really clear on where you're going. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, here's a couple of things, and I'm going to share these with you, and you're going to think, really? Is that it? These are some of the most powerful ways that you can start moving forward. And it's because I see people not doing this. So the first thing is, there's around 10% of you who are really great at what you do. You know everything about your subject. Like, seriously, put me on mastermind, ask me about visibility, and I can answer every question, including video, funnily enough. Ask me any question about that and I can answer it. But here's the thing. Being good at what you do isn't enough. So the first hurdle that most people face is that they think they have to have another qualification. You know, after I was made redundant and, you know, had a lot of really positive feedback, experiences, staff trained and all sorts of that kind of great stuff. I fell into this trap and I thought, oh, well, maybe I need to get this qualification to know. So I remember learning the theory of this particular subject and thinking, oh, so that thing that I did on this, you know, particular occasion where I did A, B, and C, it's actually got a name for it. I never knew that. And it felt like an instinctive or intuitive thing. So it was almost like learning about what I had already done and achieved and hearing the labels that were attached to it. So there's a big percentage of you, well, there's 10% of you at least, who fall into this trap. And it is a trap. Because what will happen is you go around a spiral of, I've done this thing, I'm great at it, I know everything, but you might feel like you need validation from somewhere else. So you go back round again, learn something else, come back. Now, there's nothing wrong with, you know, continued personal or continued professional development. In fact, it's a really great thing. But when you find that it keeps you stuck in a loop, you need to work out how you can keep developing yourself and keep putting yourself out there, because unless you put yourself out there and unless you're highly visible, no one's going to know all of that great knowledge that you've got. And so often when people first come to me, they're frustrated that they're not being promoted, they're not given the pay rise, they're being passed over, or someone else is perceived to be better or doing something more than them. And it's because they are in this 10% loop. So be honest. You don't need to put anything in the comments here, but be honest with yourself and think to yourself, do I fall, any part of me, do I fall into that trap? And if you do, knowledge is power. You can do something about that. The next percentage of people are people that in my words, they kind of toe the line. They toe the line, they're really great, they've got fantastic reputation. You are likely to be the people who are at work taking on someone else's role, so perhaps working 2 or 3 roles at the same time, and secretly hoping that you'll get the recognition for doing, you know, other people's work or picking up the slack. When in fact you're likely seen as a really credible part and a valuable part of the organisation. The problem is you are a credible and valuable part of the organisation, but you're doing someone else's work. That's where it stops. Not with promotions, not with pay rise, not even at the appraisal. You know, how many times I remember in my corporate life and speaking to clients where they've worked really hard, they've picked up other projects and extra projects and worked late and stayed late, and they get to their appraisal and it's something that they put in the appraisal or they have a 360 feedback loop, and no one realizes that's what they've done. No one recognizes it, or they're told, it's really great that you did that, Jenny, but we won't be increasing your pay for next year, for example. It's really quite heart-wrenching and quite disappointing and very frustrating for the person. But yet around 27% of people will stay in this loop. This means no pay rise, no promotion, being passed over still, not being recommended for the piece of work, not having your business or company recommended. This is a very magnetic way of putting yourself out there, this form of visibility. And then there are the people who are here, there and everywhere. For those of you that work in organisations, you will know of people where the announcement's made that they've been promoted, or they've been given some sort of project that's been important to the company, and that they're going to be running with it. And the people around them are all looking at each other, shaking their heads and thinking, how did that happen? They don't even know about A, B and C. So these people are highly visible, yet they don't have maybe all the knowledge that those people in that 10% do. They don't work all hours and take on other people's roles, but they're still being given the promotion, they're still being given the pay rises, they're still being recommended, they're still being referred to, they still get the best gigs, This happens, and it happens for all sorts of reasons. And usually the underlying reason behind it is around our ability to be seen, our ability to be heard, and our ability to value our voice, to know that it matters. This is not about being outrageous or controversial or clashing or divisive. This is simply about articulating the value and demonstrating it in a way that is highly visible. I was speaking to somebody from quite a big organisation a few weeks ago, probably about 6 weeks ago, and they were telling me that somebody had moved on in the organisation, and that easily this person was going to be getting the job. And I asked why, and they said, because they know everything about it. Everybody goes to them and asks them questions, and they always know the answer. They know who to refer to, what to do, how to approve it and everything else. And I said, so if they go for this particular position, which would be a promotion, do they want it, number one? And do the people that are looking to fill that space, HR and other people within the organisation, the board, do they know that this person exists? And they said, well, no, because they're quite quiet. They just get on with things. They just do it really quietly. And here lies the problem. They're really great at what they do, but they're not visible to who it needs to be visible to. So look at your next 99 days, start with the end in mind, get very clear on the vision, then get very clear. There'll be 3 things that you're looking to improve, and it might be all of them, but they will take rank order, a kind of rank priority. It could be that you need to make sure that you're highly visible within your industry. So is that where you need to start now? For those of you that are self-employed or consultants, freelancers, and even authors, it could be that you now need to grow your database or your audience, because you've got all the knowledge in your book, in your head, on your computer, but nobody out there in the world actually knows that it exists. So it could be that. It could be that you want to do it to build your business. These are uncertain times, and you want to make sure that you finish the year in a stronger position, so that you're on more steady footing. Or it could be that people need to know that you're the person to go to. So you want to build your credibility and raise your profile that way. Now, it's likely that you'll want all 3 of those, but which one needs to take priority? And if you're not sure which one of those to start, there's a couple of things you can do. You can either have a look at the feedback that you've been given so far. So if people keep saying, oh, I didn't know you did that, then it's likely that you might need to raise your visibility in terms of your audience, your peers, your industry. If you find that you tell people what you specialise in, and then you spend the rest of the time having to prove that you really know what you're talking about, it's likely that your credibility could do with a bit of a brush up. If, for example, you're only here on this platform and not on another platform where your clients hang out, or where other people that know what you do hang out. That could be an area to brush up on. It could be that you need to go more offline, or from offline to a little bit more online. It could be that you just need to switch your camera on the next Zoom meeting, regardless of whether you're sat at your kitchen table, the cat's running around, the kids are running around. So have a look at which of those three you need to organise. So that's the first thing that you can do. The second thing that you can do, as I wrap up, is you can ask for help. Now, as a visibility specialist, of course, I would be the natural person to help. And you can do a couple of things. You can either come directly to me and work with me privately, if that's what you'd like to do. I do offer periodically some smaller sessions, like one-off sessions, where if you've got one burning question, we get on a video call, I record it for you, and you get to keep that and replay that. But for many of you, once that's done, then it exposes other areas to work on. So if you've ever wondered how you can do that and move it along quickly, then do send me a message here. Send me a private message here, and I'll let you know what you would need to do to start that. For some of you, it'll be a questionnaire to find out whether this is the right time and this is the good fit for you now. So it's an application process. And for others, it will be, I can direct you to certain different things. So if you are one of the people that's been affected by job losses, redundancies, or really hit hard by the pandemic, which I know the hospitality industry has, travel and tourism has been hit really hard, and certain parts and areas of other industries, then do have a look at the link I'll share below, the Dream Job Conference, which is completely free. So you'll be able to really enhance and get your nuggets, your confidence, and everything that you need to land into that, either the next dream role or enhance the role that you're in to make it a dream role. Hopefully helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for confirming that you could hear me loud and clear. And I will take a look back on the platforms that I'm streaming now, check back, and I will answer each of your comments myself personally. But what am I going to do next, and why am I dressed like this? I'm training for the London Marathon. I'm going to be running 26.2 miles as a first-time novice marathoner. Not even a half marathon, not even a 10K. So I'll be going back out in the rain. I don't like running in the rain, but I'll be running in the rain and getting ready for that. So if you would like to find out any more about me and what I do before I cough my way out of the end of this, send me a message on here, and do comment even if you're watching this back on the replay. I'd love to know what you got from this and where you might feel you want to expand next, either with my help or without my help. I just want to see you really shine and put yourself out there and cause a really positive ripple effect. Thank you for watching so much. Thank you for your comments. I shall speak to you same time next week. Bye for now.